take two, because I tried this once and it went off the rails. So, gonna talk about some frustrating things about the Toyspace. For lack of a better term, it can't be community because, well, it doesn't work. And, you know, any other word doesn't. Nothing seems to work because, you know, we're all such at odds. We're not a community, that's for sure. You know, at the same time, there are pockets that are communities, but, you know. And some things that frustrate me about modern collecting, maybe, I should say. One of them is, you know, a lack of joy. Gosh. You know, I make this joke all the time. It seems like people who do, quote, reviews, they just like, this is an elbow. You know, I mean, that kind of thing. I made a joke out of that once. And it seems like they don't want to have fun. And that really comes out on the YouTube videos. And it really bugs me in a way because this is toys. You know, I feel like Woody in Toy Story. You are a toy. And, you know, I don't see passion. I don't see happiness. Like, you know, this I got. This is Daniel from the Power Rangers Cobra Kai mashup. And I got it just because my daughter was gifted a Samantha from this line, and she's entirely too young. The parts are too small. She's going to swallow them. So my wife said, just take it. And then I looked around for the rest of the line. I got the rest of it for a total of $35. There's Miguel, and there's Johnny. I have things to say about these, but I will get to that when I do a video on it. Yes, it will feature Hordak. And, you know, is it toy line of the year? No. The head sculpt's good? No. But is it terrible? Well, no. It's actually surprisingly how not terrible it is. Is it good? I wouldn't say that. And definitely not worth the $25 each that they originally were. But, you know, it was surprising to me, especially being a Hasbro product. And then there's this, like, divide on some fans that are purely Hasbro, purely Mattel. And, you know, you have this Skeletor in with these Hasbros. Oh my god, or even that Skeletor back there. And it's like, oh my god, you can't have those two together. And I like some of Mattel's products, especially Masters of the Universe and WWE. I have finally fallen into the Origins trap, but, you know, I do like them. I have to admit, I do like them now that I've started messing with them. And, you know, you have people who do Marvel Legends, and, oh, but going back to Masters of the Universe, I heard somebody say the other day, it's like, for the first time in a long time, I don't feel like buying everything. And I'm like, why should you? You know, why should you? You know, buying everything is kind of boring. You know, it doesn't show any real joy. Because, I'm sorry, the things I love about Masters of the Universe, like this guy, absolutely love Skeletor. I don't like some characters in Masters of the Universe like Snout Spout, Extender, Rio Blast. Those don't interest me. Apologies to people who love those characters. I don't. And that is where I'm at. And that's okay, because we can like what we like. It's a thing. I thought that the later Masters of the Universe got weird and got silly. That's just my opinion. But you can like what you like. You know, another one is, you know, Marvel Legends. Got Wong finally. Really wanted a comic accurate Wong. I bought the movie Wong for that reason, because I thought they'd never produce this figure, and there he is. Now what am I going to do with the movie Wong? I don't know. I like that figure. I'm probably going to keep him, but, you know, what use do I have for him now is the point. But, you know, this is a cool figure. I will talk about it at the time, but you get people who buy every single Marvel Legends. It's like, you know, what do you want with Kid Omega? It's like, You know, I felt Secret Wars was the last great Marvel story, the one with Doom as God Emperor. I mean, and it wasn't even that great. It was just had some really good parts that I did enjoy. But at the same time, you have people who think, oh, I got to buy every single Marvel Legends. I had to buy. This is one of the ones I had to buy was Death's Head, and yeah, I got Death's Head 2 here because I was comparing the two, and I love Death's Head. He's one of those characters that I really wanted a Marvel Legends form, but you know, I didn't even think of it. Was like I thought he was so far not going to happen that I had him off my list. He was that far in, and you know, then you have, well, I should have brought this one up earlier, but G.I. Joe. Now with G.I. Joe, the problems get more pronounced. Now, I'll freely admit, this Cobra Commander, I really, really dig. This is one of the best classified figures ever, in my opinion. I think it's the best. However, first thing I'll say is, yeah, it's just the same as Cobra Commander that we got originally, way back in 1982. Just taller and more articulation. But it's the exact same. There's nothing different. He even has the, you know, they gave him a backpack now that he can put his gun in, but still, I mean, it's the same thing. So, you know, and people have pointed out, justifiably so, oh no, I lost my backpack. And people pointed out, justifiably so, that, you know, G.I. Joe fans don't want anything new. They want it to be a redesign of the thing they had as a kid in 6-inch form. Nostalgia grab, yeah, whatever. And I do think that's true because I hear it all the time. I remember when the Anniversary line was coming out and they had done, that's one thing I hate is dagger holster keeps falling down. But people were going off about, you know, everything being the same, and I was like, we need new characters. Now keep in mind, back at this point, this still was being marketed to children. I see why they don't do it now, especially in the atmosphere we're in, because let's face it, toys are not for kids anymore. Kids don't even care. The argument was kids didn't care back then either, but you know, there was reasons they didn't care. Again, it's a funny dichotomy. Alright, classified figure he won't stand, but it's a funny dichotomy to me, because, you know, of all the fandoms, it does seem like G.I. Joe's the one that doesn't want any change. Don't change a damn thing. Always make it like it was. And first off, I think that's a trap, because then you lock yourself into only the adults. But of course, they're being marketed to adults. All this is for adults. They're not marketing to kids anymore. We know that. It's very apparent. So there is that. But in that day, I always said, you know, first off, and this was like when it was every year, they'd come out with the same basic formula. It would be Duke, Snake Eyes, Firefly, Cobra Commander, Destro. Occasionally a Scarlet or a Baroness will be put in there. And then, you know, the next year they'd repeat. And, you know, always the most interesting ones were the ones at the back end of the year, which were the, you know, Airtights and the Law and Order and the Mutts and Junkyard, and those. So thankfully on this one they haven't done it on Classified. They haven't done it as much. They have done multiple Snake Eyes and multiple Cobra Commanders, but it's not nearly as pronounced as it was in the Anniversary lines. So there is that, but it's still there. I mean, there has been a bunch of Snake Eyes especially. And, you know, people go into that completionist mode and they go, oh, I gotta get Caramel Crunch Snake Eyes. I guarantee you in about 5 years the aftermarket's going to be flooded with Caramel Crunch Snake Eyes. You know, it's one of those things. People grab it now thinking, oh, I gotta have it all, gotta have it all, gotta get everything, and then it's like, no, I don't. And even those that will keep a good chunk of their collections will probably sell that off. I mean, I freely admit, Daniel here and Johnny and Miguel, I will probably end up selling those off in a couple of years. For now, they're kind of a fun little aside, and that's it. It's not a terrible line, but it's not line of the decade either. I mean, I'm glad it kept it to 5 figures. I only got 4, but there's 5 figures total. And I don't care about the Halloween costume one. However, you know, again, modern toy collecting is weird. Because it just seems like everybody wants to do the same thing. And my God, the toy tubers just want to talk about it like it's, you know, the latest in whatever sidebar there is, you know, movies, entertainment, whatever. And to me, toys are a different animal entirely. Toys are where you can get creative and have fun. And, you know, people in general, they, you know, take their toys, it's like, okay, pose it on the shelf, and that's it. That's it. And, I mean, there are even people that talk, oh God, it's so bad to play with toys. You know, me, I'm sitting here playing with toys because I'm making these damn videos. You know, and I need a voice for Skeletor. That might be it. But I don't see joy with these people. And that's the other one that bugs me is flex. I mean, people are like, oh, look how much I spent for this massive figure. And I mean, I have expensive figures. You know, I've done videos on the Mophex figures. I've done videos on a few others. And it's not a question of that. I mean, but people are like, oh, look at me, I can spend so much money. And it's like, yeah, well, are you happy? And usually they're not. They're not happy at all. They're very unhappy. And you can tell because they're very droll and monotone. So what is all this? This is just me complaining about the toy space and what I see. I like to see people have fun. I like to see people laugh. I like to see people have joy when they get, you know, ooh, I've got Wong finally. Wanted a Wong for a long time. Never thought they'd do him. I got Death's Head. I finally, you know, those kind of things. Oh, and you knock over Astral Dogs. That's okay, guy. But, you know, at the same time, and you know, I put my stuff on the shelf too, but I mean, that's not where it stays. I mean, I bring these stuff down, you know. Here you go. Bring stuff down and do something with it. And it's not a bad thing to do. In fact, it's very enjoyable. You know. And getting back to the completionist thing about the Masters of the Universe is like, you know, I've never been a completionist for anything. Ever. Not even Action Force, nothing. You know, I really like Action Force, but yeah, I've skipped a few, purposefully. And various version 2s. Not all version 2s, because that Bone Collector version 2 is awesome. You can win me over with a version 2, it's just, you know, a lot of version 2s don't. Blowback version 2 did not impress me, didn't buy it. We won't get into Gemini and what she reminded me of. I've told the story a couple of times. And like that, so, anyway. But I guess what I'm getting at is, I don't see people having fun, and that's what I'm trying to do, is have fun. I see a lot of people rushing and spending extra money to get to everything first. I mean, okay. Yeah, that'll get you numbers too, but at the same time, it's not fun for me. You know, getting, I don't know, getting Cobra Commander 4 months early, what does that do for me? Nothing. Getting Death's Head 4 months early, that does nothing either. I do wish I could have got him earlier because, you know, he was up on Hasbro Pulse for like a minute. But I do have him finally, you know. And there was a lot of frustration about that one not getting out. So, but I finally got him, and I do feel very happy with that now. And that is a whole different level of frustration, is when, you know, something's out and you can't get it. But we won't talk about that at the moment. But when you do this toy tube thing, it's like, you know, you want to have fun and you want to enjoy. And I see so many people, I guess that's what I'm saying, is like, you know, YouTube should be fun. I mean, we're doing this for fun, presumably. Some people are doing it for money, and they're pretty obvious which ones they are. They usually expose themselves very quickly, you know, but most people, I want to think, is doing this for fun and is having a good time, and, you know, are not trying to be greedy or selfish or anything like that. I mean, that's the hard part, because part of this hobby is being a little bit selfish. So you have that aspect as well. I mean, this is for your own joy. Is that necessarily selfish? Well, you can argue. You can argue, but end of the day, you got to do what you want to do. So with that, I'm here just talking about the things that frustrate me about the toy tube space, and getting it out there, putting it out, not to try to hurt anybody's feelings, but to just say what I feel and explain how I do this channel, and how I do most of my life, really. It is, you know, try to have fun with it, try to have a good time, try to be happy. Nothing wrong with all of that. You know, do your collection for you. I mean, it's that simple. Don't do it to, I don't want to say don't be a completionist, but don't be a completionist just to be a completionist. Don't sit there and say, oh, I've got to get more toys to catch up with the big guys. I've heard that before. That one bugged me. Because I was just like, what does that show besides you just threw your money away? You know, do your collection as you want. I mean, do your collection as to what you're interested in. And I say that because I know things are going to start slowing down, for me at least. Not sure how that's going to go with the rest of the world. You know, there's some rumors going around that the collecting space is going to change so drastically. It's going to be interesting. I'm here for it because I've seen the toy space change dramatically several times, and this one will be more interesting than the last, I'll say that much. But we'll see what happens. The future is definitely something to watch. Anyway, okay, I think I've said enough about toy tubing and toy space and all that. You guys take care and have a good day.